10 years ago, if you were to come to me and say, look, V, I'm going to give you a TV show that has a lesbian in a leather suit fighting crime and kicking ass. But you need to make that show fail. You need to make it so that the ratings plummet. I would be, no, it's impossible. Can't be done. Like, this show is a recipe for success. Teenage boys will line up in order to watch it. There is nothing you can do to it in order for it to be a flop. But now it seems we have some geniuses in the mix. We have some people that are doing the impossible. And these people are not only doing it to Batwoman, they're doing it to Supergirl, they're doing it to a lot of superhero shows that are like a sure way to win. Like, it's a sure success. It just baffles my brain. How on earth can you make a show like this? How can you make Picard another show that should be a sure win? Like, there is nothing that you can do in order to make it fail, and yet, and behold. So I tried to figure out, like, why do these shows constantly fail? And I think, like, the first reason is that most of the producers of this show admit that they hate the shows. They outright say it. Like, no, we do not like them. The creator of Thundercats Ho says this. The creator of Picard says that the purpose was to take down the white patriarchy and check the privilege of Captain Picard. The sheer fucking hubris. And, you know, it's the same with Batwoman, and it's the same with many other shows. The creators, they do not have a respect. They view the IP as something to be made money out of. Like, they do not put soul into the IP. This is like one of the things is, yes, a business, a company should be focused on making money. I fully agree with that. But when a company doesn't have the soul it requires in order to invest that emotional connection into what it's making, you get to see that as the product is faulty, the product is bad, it's just, you know, a cash grab. It's what it is. And this is why these shows are bad, the number one reason. The people that are doing these shows, they do not enjoy making these shows. They do it because they have to in order to make a buck. But they don't do it in order to connect with the fans. No, they think the fans are a necessary evil. They hate the fans. They despise the fans. You know, it's really weird. Like, you hear some of these producers say how the fans are racist, misogynistic. And you hear this, like, all over the entertainment, in video games, in TV shows. And you wonder, it's like, if you really hate the fans, why are you in this industry? Why are you making a product for Nazis, sexists, and racists? Why are you here? Let someone else, like, go produce something for people that are more palatable for a civilized society. Like, I don't know, go and produce some soy so people can put it in their lattes. The decent folk can have something to drink. Leave the entertainment industry alone then, because clearly it's with bad people. How can you sleep at night knowing that you take people's money? No, so, like, apparently there's this news and every YouTuber is talking about that Ruby Rose won't be starting for Batwoman Season 2. And I'm, like, astonished. It's like, how can you miss the news? Like, I do not care if Ruby Rose will not start for Batwoman Season 2. The news is that there is going to be a Batwoman Season 2. Like, this is what takes me aback. This is what makes me go like, you know, because the ratings were just abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Like, they are actually taking a shovel and taking cash and throwing it into the fire. This is what the producers are doing. It's surreal. The same with Supergirl. It's surreal. Like, why is this show keep going? Like, you look at the ratings and it's sad. You know, it's like looking at... Let me put it this way. If a dog was as sick as this show is, you would put the dog down. It's just the right thing to do. It's out of kindness. It's out of compassion. Like, you would be a monster if you do that. And just walk past and see the dog suffering. Like, you know it's dying, but you're like, okay, you know, keep on suffering. I mean, I guess for some YouTubers that make reviews, like, probably the only people that are watching Batwoman at this point are the reviewers. I do not understand. Like, it is so upsetting to see what they're doing to these shows. And it shows that the people making them do not have any originality at all. Like, okay, let's talk about Supergirl for a minute, because Batwoman follows the exact same thing. Instead of creating a new character that's interesting, and it would be like, okay, this is a female character with, different personality. No, they take Superman and they put a woman in it. So just like Superman, she's working in the media. Just like Superman, she is fighting crime. Just like Superman, there's even Jimmy Olsen there. It's just a blatant ripoff of Superman. Supergirl could be this emotionally scarred character that is trying to adjust to a new planet, because unlike Clark Kent, she actually experienced Krypton. She knows people from there. She saw the destruction of her planet. Like that thing scars a person. And it would be an interesting journey to see her like fighting that and trying to adjust to her new world. That would make for an excellent show. But we don't get to see that. Instead, we get to see a cute and bubbly little girl, just talking about how ice cream is yum yum, and just, what are you doing? Batwoman is the same thing. Like, Batwoman would have been really interesting if they would have stuck to the comics. But no, instead, what they do is they fill her up with toxic masculinity. And it's just a rip-off version of Batman. And it's not even a good one. The writing doesn't even make sense. Like, again, people know from the trailer, but she takes Batman's identity. She takes his company. She takes everything that Batman has. And at one point, like, someone confuses her with Batman, and she's like, oh, I will not let a man take credit for what a woman does. It's like, this is what a villain does. Like, Batman doesn't save the day in order for people to praise him and worship him. No, Batman saves the day because he does it in order to fight crime, to help the people. He doesn't care. In fact, he would be happy if people mistake his identity with someone else, because like he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. He's not the type of person that would go in front of the cameras and give a press conference about how well he's fighting crime. They do not get the essence of what these superheroes are. And it's not astonishing that Ruby Rose decided to quit, because, well, she first of all had an accident on the set, which was debilitating. Apparently, she didn't get along with some of the other people on the set. Rumors are she might have even got fired. I don't know. I find that hard to believe. And like, she gets a barrage of insults from fans saying she's not gay enough. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I thought being gay is when a person interacts with another person that has the same genitalia. That's what gay is. But now apparently being gay is a performative act, and there is a way to act gay. Like, isn't this like what the left actually fought against? It's like, yeah, don't stereotype us. It's like, no, it is bewildering, and it just keeps on going. The ratings are plummeting. Like, it's not good for her career. It really isn't for her to play in this. So yeah, she's going to stop playing it, and instead of pulling the plug, they go on with season 2. I mean, I don't care, like, I haven't watched Batwoman season 1. I mean, Jesus, like, that was even way too much for me. And I watched a lot of I guess you can say progressive stuff, like The Mist, Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Picard. Like, I forced myself to watch some of them. And the problem isn't even that they're progressive, to be honest. The plot doesn't make sense. The writing is awful. Like, that is what really bothers me. And the fact that they insult my intelligence by saying, oh, if you don't like it, you're affected. It's like, okay, so there's no other reason. Literally no other reason why people would not like a show. It's like, like let me tell you how stupid it is, okay? Let's say that you take Catwoman, or any other show that in the past you would look at it that it's bad, and you put some Christian messages into it, like some Christian values in it, and you tell people that if they don't like the show, they're not good Christians. Like, really, it's that insulting. like Expelled It, No Intelligence Allowed. There was this documentary about creationism. Imagine if saying like, if you don't like that documentary, if you don't spend money to buy it or to see it, then clearly you are not a good Christian. You know, you're a Satanist. Like, prove you're not a Satanist. Go buy the movie. That does not make good marketing. That does not make any sense. You know, The 100, for example, is a TV show that I like. You know, it's got lesbian characters, it's got gay characters. I don't care. You know, like that is just a minor inconvenience. To be honest, like for me, a lot of relationships in TV shows are like minor inconvenience. Like, if I watch a show for the action and for the suspense and drama, usually the relationships just get in the way. I'm like, can you please skip over? You know, like in Breaking Bad, for example, it does have a couple of relationships, but I don't feel like they take away from the main action. Other shows nowadays, especially superhero shows, are all about the kissy kissy, the coochie coochie. I don't care about that. You know, just show me the act, show me people fighting. Like, that's what superhero shows are about. Just show me some cool fight scenes. And but yeah, no. Like, again, you're not going to make good shows if you're going to put a person that actually hates the IP. Like, if you put a person that has a disdain for the IP, a disdain for the fans, this is what you're going to get. And it seems that it keeps happening. The only good show that I genuinely would recommend, and I don't think anyone would hate it, is Cobra Kai. Assuming you like Karate Kid. Like, if you like Karate Kid, YouTube has made Cobra Kai, and it's exactly what a sequel to a good movie should be like. It respects the IP, it honors the characters, and it has the same vibe as the original movie. And it's, you know, also has progressive vibes. Like, it gets girls able to fight as good as men and whatnot. I don't mind. Like, I don't mind because it's good writing. It's actually good. Like, the characters are really well made. I probably should make a review about it because it's really good. And that's what happens when you hire someone that actually wants to do something. The Mandalorian, another example. You know, someone that actually likes the Star Wars universe created something that I wouldn't even consider good. But when you compare it with what else is on the market, by comparison, it looks good. You know, it's like that fat chick that takes a picture with 3 other morbidly obese women. And, you know, when you, like, if you do it like this and you just look at her, it's like, meh. But, you know, by comparison, she actually looks good. Anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.